Good morning guys, and welcome to another video. So today we are going to be demonstrating how we grow green bean from seed here at our homestead. The main difference between the many types of green beans is whether the growing style is classified as bush or pole bean. Pole beans grow as climbing vines that may reach 10 to 15 feet tall. Therefore, pole beans require a trellis or staking. Bush beans grow compact, reaching about 2 feet tall, and do not require extra support from a structure like trellis, which is why it is important to consider what variety you will be growing. On today's video, we will be focusing on bush beans. When germinating your green bean seed, I find it extremely helpful to face the seed with the belly button, which is the center of the seed, facing down. The root will grow from the center, pushing the rest of the seed upward, looking for sunlight to produce photosynthesis. If your seed is placed different, it will make it more difficult for your seed to find the surface and could cause it to rot off before germinating. You want to sow your seed about 1 inch deep. I always find it easier to use my finger to measure the depth. Once you've placed your seed about 1 inch deep, you want to cover them with your soil mix and lightly add water. I always recommend adding a label to avoid mislabeling your seedlings. Green bean seeds usually take about 8 to 12 days to germinate. If you grow your seedlings in a tray like I do, at this point I would recommend transplanting your seedlings to allow the roots to properly grow. When transplanting, I like to use the square foot method, giving your crops enough space to properly grow. What this means is transplant your seedlings about 1 foot apart from each other to help utilize as much space as possible without overcrowding your crops. Bush beans grow compact, reaching around 2 feet tall, and usually don't require extra support from a structure or a trellis, but placing them near each other allows them to use support from each other if necessary, which is why I find the square foot method extremely helpful. Within the first 2 weeks after being transplanted, which is around day 35 or 40 for our crops, you will start noticing the first flowers develop. As you can tell, some of my seedlings were struggling to grow at first, but this helps you have a continuous harvest, allowing your healthier plants to produce fruit while the other seedlings catch up. At this point, I would also recommend adding mulch to help retain moisture and help suppress weeds. By day 60, your first handful will be ready to harvest. Green beans are ready to harvest when they reach a desirable size, although I recommend harvesting green beans in the morning when the sugar levels are highest. I prefer green beans when they are young and tender, before the seed inside have fully developed. When harvesting your green beans, you can use a pair of sharp scissors or you can gently snap them off. I personally prefer to snap them off, although I recommend to being careful with other undeveloped fruit. Another valuable tip I've learned: when harvesting, leave the smaller undeveloped beans for a continuous harvest. The smaller beans will keep developing and within a few days will be ready to harvest. As you can see, there are quite a few undeveloped small beans. This will be a perfect amount for next week's harvest. Every week after your first harvest, you can keep picking off a handful. With more fruits being developed and more flowers pollinated, green beans are the perfect crop to have in your garden. Third harvest, I would recommend focusing on a few beans to produce seeds for next year or another growing season. The best way to do this is simply allow a few of your beans to grow enough where the bean starts developing into seed. I focus on one plant so I won't get confused. This plant, I focus on a few green beans depending on the amount of seeds I need for next year. These are the few beans we'll leave on the plant to produce seeds for next year, here on this plant in the corner, so we don't forget. At this point, I would recommend removing the green bean pods from the plant and leaving it out in the sun to fully dry before they rot off. Once fully dried, they can be used for next season. Thank you guys for watching. If you found any of the information on this video useful, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content.